Hey guys, so this video took a little bit longer than I intended for it to, so I have quite a few things I want to talk about. I haven't been doing so well mentally, so I want to talk about some of that, which is why the video has taken so long, but first I want to talk about our support group, because we had our first meeting on last Friday, and I've had plenty of time to think about it, and the first thing I thought is that I'm pretty happy with myself. I feel like I did a decent job with introducing things and leading the conversation and all of that as it needed to be done. So I'm pretty proud of myself, but with that being said, I'm probably going to do things pretty differently for our next meeting because one thing I observed is people really seemed the most comfortable speaking when I spoke to them directly first. So I did end up speaking quite a bit more than most other people, and most interactions were kind of back and forth between me and some other person that I asked a question, rather than sort of bouncing around between everyone. So it wasn't quite the organic conversation I'd hoped. I wasn't sure everyone felt comfortable to share what they wanted to about why they joined, what they wanted to get out of the group, recent struggles they've had, things that they want out of their lives that they're having a hard time with because of anxiety and all of that. So still plenty of planning to be done, but I think I'm going to do a different approach, which will ensure that we get a sort of conversation going between different people. I think we're just going to need a little more structure than I had planned on, and that kind of makes sense. With anxious people, it's hard to feel like, you can just take your turn to talk and to say something. I'd certainly hoped that it would kind of go that way, and I did my best to show that I was able to do that, and I think I did all right on that, but of course, I had a very specific idea of what things are going to hopefully look like, and I was really planned to make that happen for me personally. And so it's not really surprising that other people might not have had quite the same picture and could appreciate a little more structure. So we've got our next meeting scheduled for next Friday, and I do believe we're still going to be able to do that. Got to double check with everybody, but yeah, that's the plan. And I'll talk more about the group as we progress and develop a format that works best for everybody. So the other things I want to talk about are definitely more depressing. It's been a while since we had a video that was kind of like that, and it's also going to be pretty rambly. Sorry about that. I haven't slept very well in a couple days, and I couldn't bring myself to take any notes or anything. So I've been sort of having a lot of trouble lately with body image, and I haven't talked about that much because I reckon it's sort of a common thing for people with AvPD because it's just part of low self-esteem, really, and I didn't really see it as anything more specific than that. It kind of feels a little bit more specific than that for me right now, in some ways, just in a way that I wanted to talk about it and share my thoughts and hear from anybody else that struggled with those sorts of things. I'll start off with the smaller thing that is less body image related. I talked a bit in some of my earlier videos, or at least one of them, about how as a kid I developed the sort of compulsion of hair pulling to try to distract and de-stress myself when I was getting really anxious. And that's never really gone away for me throughout my life. I mentioned in that video where I talked about it earlier that I had done a pretty good job of reducing it, mostly by cutting my hair shorter. And I know those of you that have any actual amounts of lengths of hair will think that my hair still looks short, but if you compare it to the earlier videos, I think you'll see what I mean. During that time of my life, I kept my hair extremely short and not buzzed, but pretty damn short. And I found that to be helpful for stopping hair pulling, simply because I had less to grab onto at once, and so it was kind of less interesting, and it sort of forced me to do something else to distract myself. Not that I was generally in a healthy place or that I had good ways of distracting myself, but it wasn't that. And recently, as I've started caring about my appearance more and just how I feel like I want to look personally, I've been growing out my hair a little bit more again. Again, I know it's not long, but it's longer than it had been for a few years there. And so kind of along with that, and I guess other struggles at the same time, the hair pulling has been getting kind of bad for me again. And definitely more when I'm anxious or depressed or can't sleep. And that's something really stressful to deal with, because as young as like first grade, I had bald spots on my head from doing that, and I had people point them out a couple times. And I'm starting to get those again a little bit. Fortunately, I am very lucky to have thick hair, so they are hard to see, and I can sort of move my hair around to cover up spots that I thin out too much, but it's still definitely something that does not make me feel good about myself when I brush my hair, wash it in the shower, or whatever. So that's been stressful. And the bigger thing for me recently has been about my weight. I'm not overweight. I try to remind myself of that. My weight is perfectly normal. But I have a real hard time these days, again, sort of related to the same thing, of trying to care more about my appearance. Just means that I'm more aware of things like that, and with working out more and stuff like that, I guess it kind of makes things that seem like shortcomings physically appear more obvious. So I've been having a hard time every time I just sort of look in the mirror or look down at my midsection lately, and feeling like a badass who eats too much. And it's been harder since I moved out on my own, because not only I care about my appearance more, but when I was living with my family, I only cooked meals for people to eat, for everyone to eat, and didn't cook what I wanted because I didn't feel comfortable doing it. And now I'm on my own. I've been baking a lot because I enjoy baking and I enjoy eating baked goods. So that's been sort of a battle between how baking sort of entertains me and distracts me and takes up some of my time, and then I eat it and feel like a piece of shit, and that makes me want to eat more. And yeah, so I don't really have any specific point with that. I know it's a common struggle a lot of people deal with, and I'm sure especially people with AvPD, so I just thought I'd share that, and if you guys have any stories about your own struggles with something like that, it might be helpful for me to hear them if you feel comfortable sharing them at all. So yeah, bit heavy again, like some of my older videos. I was beginning to have the sort of imposter syndrome feeling with my channel that I'm doing better now. Now I can't make videos about the struggles of low self-esteem and such, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely not something that's gone away for me ever, and there's some things that make it worse and some things that make it easier to look past at times, and yeah, I don't know. I've just, been feeling kind of dead-ended, like I knew I would, basically, because I felt so happy and so ready to make progress, but it wasn't just going to be a smooth sailing and I'm suddenly a totally different person sort of thing. And I always knew that, but on some days it was pretty easy to just forget about that. And it's been harder right now. Not necessarily for any particular reason other than, I've settled into my new place, I've settled into my running routine. I can kind of get groceries occasionally. I've started with my group, and it's like, just sort of that trap feeling of like, I'm doing these things and I'm pushing myself, so why can't I just do more and do all the things I want to do? And yeah, I've just been feeling really lonely and stuff, so it has not been easy, but it isn't always easy. So that's just how it goes sometimes, but that's what this channel's for me and for you guys. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about some of that. And just as a quick closing note, to people I talk to over email semi-regularly, I'm sorry if I haven't said anything in a while, if I've been a little quiet. I try to respond to people when they message me, and I usually do a pretty good job of that, but sometimes I don't really do more than that, and I'd really like to, because I really enjoy talking to you guys, and I really appreciate so much that you would take your time to write to me. And so to all of you, I will try my best to write again very soon, and yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. I always do. It's really comforting for me and makes me really happy. So yeah, that's about it for this slightly more depressing video, and I have some other stuff I want to talk about, but it's definitely not going to fit in with this video. So I'm not sure when that will be. I might do another video about our second group meeting and a bit of a format change up that, again, I'm still working on planning. After our meeting next week, relatively close to it this time, hopefully, and then make another video in a bit shorter order than that before the next meeting after that. So yeah, anyway, rambling now. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. It's 4:30 in the afternoon, but I'm really tired, so talk to you guys later.